Hey guys, welcome to another edition of our Children's Ministry Podcast. It's 2013 and we're excited for the new year. We're going to be continuing our emphasis for the 2012-2013 school year of awakening. And with the idea being that we want to awake kids to the idea they are more alive when their deeds help meet someone else's needs. And one of the ways that we're going to be doing that in January and February is arranging a service project for parents and kids to do together. To get kids to awake to the idea that they're more alive when their deeds help meet someone else's needs, mom and dad need to be on board with that. As you know, everything that we do here in HCC Kids is all about partnering with parents in preparing their kids to change their worlds for Christ. We know that mom and dad have a significant influence on their kids' lives. And so we want to leverage that as much as possible to help kids awake to the idea that they are more alive when their deeds help meet someone else's needs. And so that's why we want to arrange this service project for kids to do with their parents. And here's the heart behind our service project. We want families to give so that the stuff that they own doesn't own them. Whenever Scripture asks us about giving, and that's really God's heart behind it. It's not because God needs our stuff or anything like that. He's so much bigger than it. He made it. He doesn't need it. He wants us to give of our time and our talent and our treasure so that the stuff that we own doesn't own us. Proverbs 11:24 talks a little bit about this idea, where it says, one person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. So this idea that when we give, we gain. When we hoard, we lose. I.e., when we give, we learn, we work in such a way so that the stuff that we own doesn't own us. And so that's why we want to do this service project with parents and with their kids. And so you're going to get some more details about our service project in the next week or so from your directors and from your coordinators. And it's going to be something, just to give you a quick snapshot, our goal is to put together a backpack for every kid in one of our local schools filled with supplies that they're going to need to finish out this school year strong. Schools get a bunch of school supplies at the beginning of the school year, but come January, a lot of those kids run out of those supplies, and they've still got all of January, February, March, April, May to get through. And so what we want to do for one of our local schools is have all of us donate a backpack per kid for that school with the supplies that they need. And inside that, we would love to have an encouraging note from our families and then have our families pray over those backpacks before giving them. So you're going to hear more about how we're going to go about doing that in the next week or so. But that's the what. Here's what I would like you guys to do as we do that. A couple things. One, I want you to encourage your kids to give in your class, in your small group, in your on-deck group. However you are involved in ministering to kids here at HTC, I want you to encourage your kids to give. And then I want you to model how you want your kids to give. Do what you want them to do. So if we're saying, hey, we would want you to work with your family to put this backpack together of school supplies, we would encourage you to do that. My family and I will be donating at least one backpack full of supplies as well. I'm not going to ask you to do something that we're not willing to do. And I don't want you to ask your kids to do something that you're not willing to do. So encourage your kids to give, but encourage them to do that by modeling that. Do what you want them to do. If you want them to give the backpack, you do that as well. You do that with your family. And that's going to be something that is not only going to help our families give so that the stuff they own doesn't own them, but that's going to help you and your family give in such a way so the stuff that you own doesn't own you. And so as we continue with our awakening emphasis in 2012, 2013, helping kids awake to the idea that they are more alive when their deeds help meet someone else's needs, I want you to encourage your kids to give a backpack of supplies. And I want you to do that as well. Model for them. Show them what you want them to do. You're going to tell them, hey, this is what I'd like you to do. But then show them, hey, this is how I want you to do it. And together, we're going to make a big impact in our community and in the lives of hundreds of kids in one of our local schools this year, and that is going to help lead them one step closer to Jesus. So I want to encourage you guys to do that this month.